A good day, all of you. Good day. We are going to look at plant diversity. Monmouth Biology Department. As you know, that we started our December tuition. We started our December tuition. Um, so the lecture of this course of plant diversity is Dr. Masalila Monmas. It's me, Masalila Monmas. So we are going to look at the survey of the plant kingdom. We are going to look at the land plants, the evolutionary approach, how were the plants evolved, or how come they are now. We are going to start with the simple plants, then we move to the complex or flowering plants. From there, we are going to go to from aquatic plants for aquatic environments. When we say aquatic environments, we mean plants of water-related plants, and to terrestrial plants. The terrestrial plants, these are land-related. So we're going to highlight the features that have enabled the plants to survive and to be successful on land. As you know from animal belief, that life started on water. After life started on water, so it moved from water to the land. Why do we study plants? What is important of plants? We know that life depends on photosynthesis, and only plants can photosynthesize. We have some bacteria, the cyanobacteria, which are the first bacteria to synthesize, to provide oxygen so that the aggregated cells in animals were able to breathe in. We know that the plants came first than animals, and because of plants we are able to live. Some of you are in the morning to took breakfast or anything that you eat, you know that there is the result of photosynthesis, because even the animals which you eat, the chicken which you eat, those animals, they depend on plants for food. That's why we say plants are primary consumers. Plants are is food. We study plants because we know that plants are food to us. They can be food directly or indirectly. Some plants we eat them directly, while others don't eat them directly. So we know the top major food crops, which are maize, beans, sorghum, rice, wheat. These are the crops that we can't live without. You know them. Check in our diet. One or two of them that are always in our diet. So we can say that plants, they provide us with nutrients, and the nutrients we group them into six categories. We have carbohydrates, we have proteins, lipids, water, vitamins, and minerals. We say that uh, plants are a source of nutrients to us. Carbohydrates, protein, lipid, water, and vitamins. And we say that we can find in those in spices, beverages, sugars, oils, food additives that enhance the taste. We move on to, we say plants are a source of oxygen. This question is how are plants important in life in a way that we should study them? We say that they are for source of photosynthesis. We say that they are source of basic food. We say that they are source of nutrients. And now I say they are source of what? Oxygen. Because plants, they convert the carbohydrates to oxygen. We say that they remove carbon dioxide. Therefore, they reduce the greenhouse effect. Plants clean the atmosphere. The plants, they clean the atmosphere because we are burning fuels, burning everything. We produce carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide in which plants are going to absorb. So we say plants regulate the water cycle. You know that the plants are there in the water cycle, and they help in what? They help in evaporation. uh some plants, they've some aesthetic uses. The aesthetic is the branch of physiology that deals with nature and beauty and also taste, ornaments. You know that Even in agriculture from 5 you study about ornamental plants. These are plants, we plant in landscape. Plants brings beauty. Have you seen roses? Those people are dating. So if someone gives you a rose, you can have your mood going to be up. It's like it is related to beauty. There are sorts of natural products. We can name them herbal products there. There are source of fiber or source of raw materials. We need fiber, we need cotton. And those are the example of the plants, the cannabis sativa. We are going to look at them and classify it with that. So plants that are also a habitat of other organisms, the ecosystem, the source of mod medicine, the Neuram hollanda, the Dactura species, and these are sorts of they can be also be poisonous. Those ones. What is a plant? Ladies and gentlemen, in this Bio112, we study about diversity of plants. After these lectures of plant, you should be able to do what to classify any plant you see. Like you say, this is a monilophyta, this is a what, this is a what. You be able to classify all plants. So what is a plant? A plant is a multicellular photosynthetic eukaryote. When you say multicellular, we say that a plant is an organism made of many cells coming together. It is photosynthetic. It means a plant can make use of carbon dioxide and make what? And make food or produces oxygen. It's a eukaryote. It means that the cell of a plant is the eukaryote cell. It means it has a what? It has a nucleus. Remember in Bio111, you learned that about the difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. We said the word U in bio means true. U means true. Carrot means a nucleus. When I say eukaryote, I means true nucleus. So their cells are surrounded by the cell wall. The embryo is protected. Plants have a unique ways of development and regeneration. How are plants classified? When you look at the SADAF et al. 2011 version 11, version 12, SADAF it divided plants into two major categories. The two major categories, which are vascular plants, the trichophytes, the non-vascular plants, the non-trichophytes. So the vascular plants, these are plants conducting cells called the tracheids. Tracheids are vascular. So these are the plants which have vascular, or which have those conducting cells inside. Which have the xylem, they have the phylum. These are called the vascular plants. Non-vascular plants, these are plants they don't have the conducting system, the non-tracheophytes. So these words we are going to ask them in quizzes. What are non-tracheophytes? What are tracheophytes? And the question will be multiple choice, so you guys can get you know about it nicely well. So there are two major kingdoms of plants. Yes, there's a kingdom Plantaya as a whole kingdom Plantaya. The first division that we are going to divide the kingdom Plantaya is into vascular plants, which are the trichophytes, and non-vascular plants, which are the non-trichophytes. This is the first division that we are going to divide the plant kingdom. Vascular plants, the trichophytes; non-vascular plants, the non-trichophytes. And SADAF also recognized the 10 groups, clades or phylums. Now, the non-vascular plants, we are going to further divide them. So we are saying that these are primitive plants. Guys, when in an animal, you have learned that in an animal you have learned that cells came together, they divided, evolved, developed a coelom. all those division bilateral or the radial or cephalization of that. So we are saying that the plants which do not have vascular or tracheids, those xylems, they are the first plants to come into being. Why do we say that the first plants? They show the characteristics of being primitive, or they show the characteristics of just cells coming together and cells not dividing to a to a to some certain civilization standards which we say in vascular plants. So the non-vascular plants that are divided into three plants. We have phylum Hepatophyta. Phylum Hepatophyta. You should know these names. Phylum Hepatophyta. Their common name, we call them the liverworts. The liverworts. I hope after this lecture you are going to check in YouTube liverworts. We have the phylum Anthrocerophyta. Phylum Anthrocerophyta or one-worts. We have phylum Biophyta and Biophyta mossis. And all of our labs, majority of the labs, are going to start with this phylum Biophyta. Phylum Biophyta, the mossis. Vascular plants that are divided into two. Vascular, those who have a trachea. The trachea, they mean a vascular, a xylem or a phloem. They are divided into two vascular plants. The seedless trachyophytes, and non-seedless trachyophytes. Seedless, these are plants with seedless. If seedless and non-seedless, yeah. Those who have seeds and those who don't have seeds. So those who have seeds, those who don't have seeds are seedless. That the Lycopodiophyta, Glabomosis, Pteridophyta, Monilophyta. These are Pteridophyta. These are ferns and ferns allies. You know ferns. The Tarangaba Mwedi. These are ferns. And also with Glabomosis, the Lycopodiophyta and the Monilophyta. So these names, you need to know how to write them. How to pronounce them sometimes not an issue, but how to write them. You should know how to write them. Because we say that excuse me, non-vascular, they are less developed because they don't have a trachea. When plants develop, they begin to have tracheas, but they don't have seeds. Now plants, they end up developing into a level whereby they have a seed, and those seeds we call seed tracheophytes. And the seed tracheophytes are divided into four. We have the sarcophyta, you have the ginkgophyta, you have the nitophyta, coniferophyta, the conifers. And plants, they are further divided into angiosperms and flowering plants. Angiosperms and flowering plants. So the plant kingdom, in this course we also discuss organism called the algae. Many botanists include algae in the plant kingdom. So we are going to talk about algae. We say, why algae? Algae have played a big role in shaping the earth. Examples are algae have been part of the story of the evolution of eukaryotic cells. The endosymbiotic theory. I hope you all know about the endosymbiotic theory. Blue-green algae have played a part in origin of chloroplast, photosynthetic machinery. Algae, blue algae have been instrumental to creating oxygen. So we say that these blue-greens algae are the first to create oxygen. They are the first true photosynthetic organisms. They produced oxygen which later accumulated in the atmosphere. They enable the evolution of aerobic organisms, the Cambrian explosion. We are going to talk about the Cambrian explosion. If you talked about it in animal. We have also the green algae and all others. But now I wanted our focus to be, so our main focus in this lecturers, we are supposed to be here to be able to classify plants, the hepatophyta, the anthrosophyta, the biophyta, all these. This will be our main focus. We are supposed to classify these groups of people, these groups of plants, and I hope by this time around you'll be able to classify them well. And I'll make a quiz of you knowing that which one is vascular, which one is non-vascular plants. And you should be knowing all these names before you can move, because in all the lectures, now we're going to take them one by one. Hepatophyta, describe its features, how they live, how they survive, until we finish all of them. Thank you for paying attention.